Let me just walk across, try not to fall in. I'll show you what it does. These are the basket full of pups we're taking home. This is the chap that doesn't look very well. So do we need it or not? It's the question. This is our prototype before we ordered the rest. So we built ourselves a pier. This is the fingerlings that we've got stocked in here, 3,500. We've got this automatic feeder to make sure that they're fed continuously over a 12-hour period. Just walk across, try not to fall in. I'll show you what it does. Basically, in here you've got it's hard to open. You've got the belt, and you can see this belt basically slowly moves over time, and as it does, it drops the feed very slowly into the water below. We're going to put a ring in there so it stops the feed floating away, and then that way you can be sure that your fish are getting continuously fed. Especially when the fingerlings, you want to feed them. They're out. We did the averages yesterday, and they're about 2.1 gram. So they should be eating about 6 times per day. So some of them will be smaller than that. So you can see there are some mortalities. They just arrived a couple of days ago, but you do get some that don't survive. There's another one later on here. We've got another chap interviewing as well. So I'm just giving him the tour. Got Isaac with me, say hi.
Hi.
And yeah, nice to bring your kid to work day, hey? Finishing off the dock, is that what I call it? Ian here is just adding a bit of feed. We're trying to feed them 5 to 6 every 5 or 6 times a day, like I said, but we're just adding a bit of feed as well, just to make sure they get enough, because these are for our trial, so we need to make sure that they survive all right. Pups, we've got 3 left, which is pretty sad. They're just, so one of them's particularly poorly, so I'm not sure it's going to last, but we're going to try and make it. Basically, the thinking at the moment is we're going to try take them home with us, and then try and sort of give them some. I think they're old enough to leave mum, and we're going to try and sort of spoon feed them back to health, and hopefully maybe buy some worm medicine, something like that, if we can get a hold of it, and just hope that they improve. But yeah, like the new candidate. So just getting some discussions about wages, but it's very exciting to get new members of staff. We've got another one of the people, or 2 of the people that we showed around last week should be starting, which is actually last week, so around Monday, today's Friday. We've offered them jobs, so they'll be starting the next few weeks, which is great. I've got another one starting hopefully in a couple of weeks as well, so that should be 3 new employees, and then we can really progress with the projects that we've got going. I should give you an update on the project at some point, but it's to do with black soldier fly. It's a feed trial. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to get it. Hopefully it all goes well, and yeah, hopefully these pups make it. I'll keep you updated. So these are the basket full of pups we're taking home. This is the chap that doesn't look very well, but the rest of you look very good. Look at this, look how active they all are. So yeah, we're going to see what we can do to keep them with us. Yeah. He doesn't want to start the video with some puppies. These are the puppies we brought back, and they're playing really nicely. Hi. But onto fish. So this green monstrosity is called a happer. So it's like a 3 by 3 meter net. This is going to sit inside the pond, and then we can put 100 fish in there, and then we can test them on different things. So we'll have 24 of these to do our trials. But I just thought I'd show you this so you can begin to understand what the purpose of it is. So essentially it's a mesh that stops the fish escaping, and this is a 0.75 mil size, so it will stop fish up to about 2 grams from escaping. And then there's this green thing which is actually much finer, and this is to stop the feed floating away from the surface. So as you put pellets into this net, in the pond, you can imagine that the feed will just slowly float away. So you put this round that sits in the water line, and just the top bit of the water line, just blocks the feed sort of escaping so the fish have a chance to finish it all. And then we've also put this at the bottom. Now normally you wouldn't put this material at the bottom of the net because it creates fouling. So what happens is over time, you know, algae, bits of dirt build up, and then that stops the water flowing through the cage, or the net, sorry. And then of course you can lead to poor oxygen for the fish, they can die, etc. So you don't normally put this at the bottom of the cage, but we've done it because we've got maggots in some of the trials which we're feeding in, and we want the fish to be able to eat all the maggots. Now the maggots do float a bit, but they do eventually sink down the water column. So we're trying to think of a way that the fish can have every opportunity to eat the black soldier fly maggots, but we are still debating whether we need it, because the big technical problem is it creates fouling. The puppies are fighting. Sorry. Anyway, it creates fouling, which of course we talked about the water quality. It adds a bit of extra cost as well. So do we need it or not is the question. This is our prototype before we order the rest. And I've put here a measuring tape. So you can see 10 centimetres from the top, there's no feeding ring, this green stuff. And then it descends into the water column about 60 centimetres, and then about 70 centimetres of just no mesh, and then all the water just flows through, and that's oxygen. And the net is springy as well, so this is actually 1.2 metres, it goes down to 1.5, but you said pull the net down and then that pings off. So yeah, this is the excitement of the day. Arrived in a bodder, just having a debate whether we go with this green bottom thing of the net or not.